Yes, sir. I got it on me. Hot and ready right here. The new Asian Gear support just dropped. And let me tell you this much. If you're tired of losing your coin tosses, and if you're tired of losing to your opponent going second after they set up 30,000 negates from the one card combo, this is the deck for you. This is the one until Tenpai comes out, of course. But if you magically pull some of these from the, the new pack, or if you want to build the deck, this is the deck that I have for you. Now you're gonna need a few things. The one thing you're gonna need is one of these. You can't put your gears into your Asian Gear deck without a 10mm syringe. Don't let them scam you. I talked to Konami, they said this is the right one. I don't make up the rules, I just follow them and then I break them. Alright, so it's a 40 card deck list. We're gonna get straight into it now. This deck is only and mainly built to go second. I actually got a reference from the Master Duel Meta website that I'm gonna show you. So we're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna play 3 maxis. Now you don't need any other hand trap, because if you run hand traps, you don't have board breakers. So the whole point of this deck is to break your opponent's board and then go in for the lethal damage, because you're gonna get a big body beat stick. So you're gonna run 3 maxis. Mainly, if your opponent decides to take the maxi challenge, you're pretty much gonna win, because you have a bunch of board breakers. So we're gonna have 3 copies of that. Then we're gonna run the Asian Gear statue at 3. This thing is insane, because if your opponent has more monsters than you, which if you're going second they will, you could just special summon this thing from the hand. Then you could tribute it and you could special summon your Asian Gear Dark Golem, which becomes the Golem itself, the main Golem. And then this thing can activate its effect and search you out 2 of your spells. Of course, you're going to have to get rid of one of your cards from the hand, but that's nothing compared to what you could do with the 2 spells that you're going to get to the hand, right? And of course, they're Asian Gear spells. There's not just like any spell, right? So we're going to run 2 copies of that for that reason. It's honestly insane. Then we're going to run the Asian Gear Wyvern at 3, because this is also somewhat of like a starter. If you normal or special summon this, then you're going to get to search. You're gonna get to search any one of your Asian Gear cards from your deck, and that's basically follow up. You can get one of your spells, you can get another monster if you need to. It's a lot of different things that you could do off of this one card right here. Then we're gonna run 1 Asian Gear Tanker. This thing is nuts. This thing, when it's normal or special summon, it'll allow you to special summon a card from the graveyard or from the hand. If your opponent has more monsters than you, then you could do it from the graveyard. If not, then you just special summon from the hand. And it could be anything. It could even be your Asian Gear Dark Golem, which is insane. So we run 1 copy of it. You don't need more than 1. And then we're gonna run 2 copies of the Asian Gear Dark Golem, which I just told you. This thing searches out 2 of your spells, which is insane. Then we're gonna play 1 Raigeki. You don't necessarily want to break the board with this deck, but I like to use the Raigeki as bait. And there's a lot of monsters that have protection against being destroyed that are on the field, with other monsters that don't have that protection. So you could get rid of the Raigeki, because again, you want to slap into monsters with this deck, but I run it regardless, just in case, right? So then we're going to run 1 Harpy's Feather Duster for backward removal. We're going to run the Soul Release, because there's a lot of shenanigans in the graveyard. You could deal with the field, but you might have to deal with the graveyard. So Soul Release comes in clutch. When it comes to that, you could just banish 5 cards out of the graveyard. Promethean Princess, any Tearlaments shenanigans, any Fire King shenanigans, get it out and you're good. So then we're gonna run 1 copy of the Heavy Storm, again for the backward removal. You're going second, so most likely you're not gonna pop your own cards, so you'll be alright. Then we're gonna run 1 Overload Fusion. This thing says fusion 1 Dark Machine monster from your extra deck by banishing Fusion Material mentioned from it from the field or graveyard, which means if you have the materials in the graveyard and you can't fusion summon, you make a Vertate, you send this thing to the graveyard, you fusion summon that way. It's nuts. Then we're gonna run 1 Asian Gear Catapult. You don't need more than 1. If you don't control any monsters, you get to pop one of your face up cards on the field, and then you get to basically do a search or special. Well, no, you get to special summon 1 monster. Yeah, you get to special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, which could be this or any one of your other monsters that you're playing the deck, right? So that's pretty insane. Most of the time, you might add this and send it to the graveyard if you don't have a card to send when you're gonna search out with your Ancient Gear Dark Golem. But this thing is tough. Then we're gonna run 1 Asian Gear Fusion. You don't need more than 1, because again, you're gonna try and OTK, break the board in OTK, so you only need to fusion summon 1 time with this thing. And then if you have both of them, then after you fusion summon using this, you send the materials to the graveyard, then you can activate this, banish the materials, and fusion summon again. Which is why we play 2 copies of the Chaos Asian Gear Giant. So then from there, we're gonna run 2 copies of the Light Storm. For the reference deck list that I use had 3 of them, but I don't own 3 of them, so we're only gonna play 2. So if you wanna play 3 Lightning Storms, then just get rid of the Raigeki and add the 3rd copy in there. Then we're gonna run 3 triple tactic talent because again, drawing 2 cards is insane. Looking at your opponent's hand is crazy, or even taking over a monster could be really good, which most of the time you might not want to because you want to slap into it, but this thing is tough. Which is why we also play 3 triple tactic trust because we're playing a bunch of normal spells. We could almost search out all of them, which is insane. Then we're gonna run 1 Gear Town. This thing says both players can normal summon an Asian Gear monster for 1 less tribute. So if you need to tribute 2 monsters to normal summon, you could just tribute 1, which doesn't come up often. Honestly, you might just want to pop this with this thing so that way you could special summon a monster. So you don't really mind if you don't have this. You might not need it because I played the deck without it, but it's good to have though. So if you could get 1 copy of it, get 1 copy of it. Then we're gonna run 3 Asian Gear Fortress, and this is the reason why this deck has an extremely easy time OTKing, because once this thing hits the field, then your opponent basically cannot activate anything. It's honestly pretty insane, and I'm gonna read it for you, right? It says during the turn that were normal or special summon, your opponent cannot target Asian Gear monsters you control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect, which is insane. Then it says your opponent cannot activate cards or effect in response to the activation of your Asian Gear cards in effect. So if you activate a spell after this is on the field, or even like any one of your monsters effect, your opponent can't do anything. They basically everything is shut off. It's crazy. And then it says if this card is destroyed in the spell and trap zone, you can special summon 1 Asian Gear monster from your hand or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monster for the rest of the turn except Asian Gears. Now that doesn't matter. Sometimes you might want to pop this with this thing's effect if you need to special summon, but you always want this to be in your back row because it prevents your opponent from doing anything. So we run 3 copies of it. Then we're gonna run 3 copies of the Asian Gear Advance. This one also searches you out a spell, but it also you contribute a monster to draw a card, which you might not do a lot of the time. Also, this is one of the spells that you could pop with this thing, and you don't mind popping this. You don't need it in the back row. This is the one that you need, but you still run 3 copies of it so that way you could search out your other copies of the spell that you need. Then we're gonna run 3 copies of the Urgent Schedule because it's gonna allow you to special summon basically any one of your Asian Gear monsters plus the Asian Gear Dark Golem, and then you might want to link them off because they're gonna be negated. You probably gonna use them as bodies, but then you could use them, go into a Gear Ballista and search out one of your starters that you might need. So that's actually really good right there. Then we're gonna run 3 Forbidden Droplets. Now this is also one of the reasons why it's super easy to OTK in the deck, because of the fact that you have a bunch of spells that you're gonna activate, and as soon as you activate them, you could quick play activate your Forbidden Droplet, send that spell to the graveyard and whatever other monster that you can send, and you can negate whatever you need to negate on the field. The Omni negates whatever you think is gonna prevent you from doing your combos, and it's just insane. So we're gonna run 3 copies of it. For an extra deck, we run 1 Asian Gear Hotweiser. The main utility for this is that you could burn your opponent for 1,000 life points in the main phase. So if you don't manage to OTK, then you could try and go into this and burn your opponent for the rest of the life points, of course if they have 1,000 left. And then if this thing gets destroyed, then you could special summon one of your gear monsters, Asian Gear monsters from the deck, ignoring the summoning conditions as well. So it's really good, but the main start of the deck is a Chaos Asian Gear Giant. This thing can attack every monster on the field once, every single one of them. It does piercing damage, and you can make it extremely beefy with Dugaris, which we're gonna run the number 41 Baguska. If you get forced to go first, then you make a Baguska, and then you hope that they can't stop it. If they can stop it, you might just lose the game. But we're gonna run the number 60 Dugaris. You could activate this thing's effect, detach it to materials, and then this thing goes from 45,000 attack to 9,000 attack. Now imagine attacking into 2 monsters in defense position with piercing damage with 9,000 attack. They could be in attack position. You're just gonna run over everything. So that combination is nuts. You're gonna see it in the replays. Then we're gonna run 1 Divine Arsenal, aka Double Zeus, just in case you didn't finish. You still have the Dugaris. You go into Zeus, you might have a wipe. Then we're gonna run the Linkuriboh, Linkuriboh, and the only reason we're running this is because Yubel is on a rampage. So if you want to get Yubel off your field, then you know this is gonna come in clutch. Some people are running 2 copies of this thing because I don't even understand why people are playing that thing. But either way, that's why you run this thing. Then we're gonna run 1 Clip for Genius. You make it with 2 machine monsters. You get to negate a card on your side of the field and your opponent's card face up, of course, so I like that thing. We're gonna run the Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of back row if we need to. 1 Ancient Gear Ballista, which you might want to play 2 copies of it. Get rid of the Zeus, because you might not be able to make the Zeus anyways, unless you make Baguskas, keep the turn, put it in attack position, attack and make Zeus. Because with this thing, you're gonna get rid of 2 materials, so you're gonna have a 1 material Zeus anyways. So if you want 2 copies of it, just get rid of the Zeus. Now mind you, you might not even need the extra deck besides this. You're gonna see in the replays. Then we're gonna run the Predaplan Verte, which is something you definitely would need. I would say you should definitely play the Verte. We're gonna run the Nightmare Unicorn, not necessary, but it's a Link 3. If you want to Link Climb, you make the Sky Striker Ace Acelia, which basically grabs a monster, yank it, put it in the back row. It's in case you have to move something in order to attack directly. This thing is tough. Again, you have the Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, which is a Link 4, and then you end up with Access Code Talker. If you want to, you know, if you haven't gotten lethal yet, you go Access Code Talker, pop cards, do whatever you need to, slap for the 5300 or 48 or whatever Link monster you use, right? Now, most of the time, like I said, you don't need most of the extra deck. All you need is Verte and these 2 things right here, and you will be fine. And that is the deck list. That is everything you need to know. I have about 4 to 5 replays for you guys, and they're all going second because the deck is built to go second. So with that being said, if you guys enjoy the content, just remember to please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the boy, because I would greatly appreciate it. Enough with the yapping, let's get into the replays. Alright gang, so I wanted to show you guys real quick. I did go 11-6 with the deck. We started right here this morning. I played 17 games. I climbed from Diamond 4 to Diamond 3 with the deck. And again, I gotta let you know right now, 2 of these games I lost because of my own stupidity. I just played bad when I could have won the game because I wanted to do something different. And 1 of those games I lost because of Dimensional Shifter. So out of all 70 games, I only lost 3 because my opponent actually had a better hand or nothing without floodgates and all the extra shenanigans. So the deck is actually very decent at OTKing. Now there's some particular reasons that I'm gonna tell you towards the end, which I don't necessarily like. But we're gonna start off with going second. They're gonna activate the bonfire, getting themselves the ash to the hand. So of course I'm gonna toggle off. If you have a max C that use bonfire to search ash, then just toggle off and toggle on after he searches the poplar, because now even if they don't want to continue, they're forced to give you a +1 because the poplar is gonna special summon regardless. Now if they have an ash or a Call by the Grave, it's sad times. So we're gonna throw out the max C, and I'm gonna start crying because there it is, Call by the Grave. It's rare for me to get a max C to resolve for me, but it is what it is. The thing is bodied and negated, the bug is dead. Now they get to special summon the poplar and combo off from here. So here they activate the poplar's effect to search out a spell. They're gonna search the Divine Temple because they need a home. So we know we're playing exactly against pure Snake Eyes. So here he decided to activate his triple tactic talent because I activated max C. He can look at my hand, and I'm assuming he didn't want to go for the droplet because I have 2 copies, and he probably thought that he could deal with the Gear Wyvern, no issue. So pretty smart on him. Here he's gonna activate the Divine Temple, put the Flamer in the back, link off the Poplar into a Linkuriboh, and you know how this goes. Poplar is gonna put himself in the back row, bring it out here. Now he gets to activate the ash, send himself in the poplar to the graveyard to special summon the oak, activate the oak, bring the ash back onto the field, activate the oak, send himself in the Linkuriboh to the graveyard to special summon the second copy of the Flameberg, send the copy that's in the back row to special summon the Avastar, and now he gets to trigger 2 effects here. The Avastar is gonna search for a spell, Flameberg is gonna special summon 2 monsters back onto the field. So bring the oak back onto the field, bring the poplar back out here, and get yourself a wanted in the back row because they want that W. As he's gonna link off the oak and the ash into an IP Mascarenita, bring it out here. Now he's gonna use the IP and the poplar to link off into the royalty, the Promethean de la Princess. Bring her out here. Activate the Flameberg, put the IP in the back, activate the Promethean Princess, special summon the Ash, use the Ash and the Promethean Princess to go into the Salamand Great Raging Phoenix, which I'm not 100% to is why he didn't go to the whale, but it is what it is. Here he's gonna link off into the SP Little Knight with the Diablo Star and the Salamangreat Phoenix. Now, I think that he decided to go with this play because of the Forbidden Droplet, because I don't understand why he wouldn't just go into the Whale. I'm assuming this is what he wanted to use as his board to deal with my shenanigans. So here we're gonna draw into the Ancient Gear Fortress, the best card we could draw into, because I activated and there's nothing that he can do in response to that thing right now because he doesn't have anything. So he's gonna activate the Flamebird to special summon the IP from the back, bring her out here. So now we're gonna normal summon the Gear Wyvern, activate its effect, and I'm gonna search out my Ancient Gear statue. Because my opponent has more monsters than me, I get to special summon the statue onto the field. So as we special summon, he's gonna activate the IP Mascarenita. So I'm gonna activate the Forbidden Droplet. I'm gonna send the Wyvern to the graveyard and the Forbidden Droplet so we can negate both of these monsters right here. Now if you're wondering why I sent the Wyvern even though this thing is on the field, it's because of the fact that SP Little Knight can activate and I don't want it to activate at all. I don't want to find out. I know that I can OTK from here, so we're just gonna negate both of these monsters and diminish their attacking half, and now we get to play the game. Activate the statue, tribute it, special summon the Ancient Gear Dark Golem, and now we get to search out 2 spells. Now when you do it like this and you don't have a third card, you're gonna search out the one spell that you really need that's gonna allow you to combo off, and then search out the Ancient Gear Catapult, because you could always get rid of the Catapult. You're not gonna need it because you have monsters on the field. It's basically useless. So you're gonna send the Catapult to the graveyard. We're gonna use the Ancient Gear Advance, searching ourselves the Ancient Gear Fusion, because this is how we're gonna go into our big body fusion monster. Activating the Catapult, we're gonna pop this thing in the back. We don't need it. Get a token, activate the Ancient Gear Fusion, use the token plus another 3 monsters from the deck as well to fusion summon into the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. Now we're going to the battlefield. Now we're gonna slap the Flamebird and destroy it, right? If you're wondering why my opponent didn't activate a Promethean Princess during all of that special summoning and all of that, they can't. They couldn't. This thing prevents them from activating Promethean Princess. This thing is insane. So now we get to slap this thing in the face and he can't even activate anything in the battlefield. Slap him again and slap the IP for game. The deck is... He couldn't activate anything, even if he wanted to. The Flamebird to bring 2 bodies, even if he managed to do that, it wouldn't have mattered because I can attack both of those monsters. If you put them in defense, I do piercing damage. It's honestly GG's. As soon as you get this on the field and your fusion monster, yeah, you're having a good day. Let's continue. Alright familia, here we are for replay number 2 of the day, and we're always gonna go second because the deck is built to go second. Here our opponent is gonna activate the King of the Swamp, send it to the graveyard to get themselves the polymerization. We're playing against a 60 pile Tearlaments Castira Labyrinth deck with everything in it. I don't even know. These decks are freaking crazy. So he's gonna send the Trivial Karma to the graveyard, activate the Trivial Karma, get it out of here so he could search out the Tearlaments Scream. So now he's gonna activate the reinforcement of the army, getting himself the Tearlaments Rhinoheart, an amazing hand for a starting 60 card deck. Set down the Scream, normal summon the Rhinoheart, activate the Rhinoheart, chain block it with the Scream so it can't be ashed. So now he's gonna mill 3 cards. And then he's gonna send a Havness to the graveyard, activate the Havness, use the Havness and the Rhinoheart to fusion summon into the Kit Kalos out here. Prismatic, of course, activate the Kit Kalo, getting themselves the Tearlaments Castira to the hand. They're gonna activate the Sharon, special summon the Sharon, send the Tearlaments Castira to the graveyard, activate the Solic that they just milled, activate the Shaddoll Beast to draw a card. This deck is insane. Activate the Tearlaments Castira so that way he could mill 3 cards for the top of the deck, or 2, and there it is. Now we know we're playing against Labyrinth as well because he milled the Stovey and he milled the Big Welcome. So he's gonna draw the card, then he's gonna search out the Havness to the hand. He's gonna activate the Super Polymerization using the Kit Kalos and the Sharon as materials to go into the Root Kalos, which is also gonna trigger both of their effects, the Sharon and the Kit Kalos. So now he gets to mill 5 cards and then he gets to fusion summon with the Sharon. Insanity. Use both of these monsters, the Sharon and the King of the Swamp, to go into the Rafa, Dragon Overlord of the Dark World, set down a background end their turn. Now, this board doesn't seem that crazy, but this is a very decent board, especially since he already has the Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard, he has the Big Welcome in the graveyard. Unfortunately, he did mill one of the Lady Labyrinth, but this is still very decent for what we're looking at here. Luckily, we have the board breaker, so we're gonna activate the lightning storm, get rid of the back row. There it is, needle bug. This deck is insane, bro. Look at the hand that he opened up with on a 60 card deck list. He's gonna mill 5, and one of those 5 cards is a shuffler. Also, is one of the screams that just got popped. Activate the scream, activate the, well, search out the meta noise. We're gonna activate the urgent schedule because this is an urgent emergency. He's gonna activate the root colors, and luckily for us, we have the Jesus Tears, the forbidden droplets. So we're gonna send the spell and the waiver into the graveyard, but unfortunately for us, of course, he gets to activate the trap in the graveyard. Even though this is insane. So he's gonna activate the big welcome, target the Grapha, so he's basically gonna send the thing back into the extra deck, activate the Fairy Tales Null, banish 7 so he could special summon that thing, and he's gonna banish his own root colors, just so I don't target and negate anything. Bro is crazy, but it works, because now my forbidden droplet doesn't do anything, and this thing negates my urgent schedule. Now, luckily for us, he's gonna activate the Stovey, activate the Chandelier, which is insane that they get to do this after activating the trap in the graveyard, bring the Chandelier back to the hand, special summon the Stovey back onto the field. So luckily, they do have more monsters than us, and we did have the statue in the hand. So now we get to special summon the statue, activate the statue, tribute the statue. They're gonna activate the Hobness in the hand, which means I get to special summon and mill 3 cards. Not the greatest of mills whatsoever, which is why these decks are funny to look at. He banishes he sends a Deerstorm, another Scream, and a Performance Trick Clown, which is good for us as we tribute summon and go into the Ancient Gear Dark Golem. We're gonna activate its effect, and now because I have a card to discard, which is the Forbidden Droplet, I'm gonna get myself the Tracker because we haven't normal summoned yet whatsoever. So now we get the Tracker, and we're gonna get ourselves the Ancient Gear Fortress, which is, again, once you have that on the field, you don't worry about anything. Set the Fortress down, normal summon the Tanker, activate the Tanker, special summon the Waiver, activate the Waiver, get myself the Ancient Gear Advance, activate the Ancient Gear Advance, get myself the Ancient Gear Fusion. He's gonna activate the Chandelier, send 2 cards to the graveyard, set down a big welcome in the back, congratulations, who cares, activate the Ancient Gear Fusion, using monsters from our deck and our Ancient Gear Golem, going to the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. And this is insane because now we have 2 level 4 monsters on the field. We could use both of these level 4s and show them number 60 Dugares, detach 2 materials, and he's not even gonna let me do it. You're gonna see it in another replay, but we basically detach 2 materials from the Dugares. This thing becomes a 9,000 beast stick, and we do piercing damage to everything in defense position, and he can't even activate anything else. It's GG's. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright familia, here we are for replay number 3 of the day, and we're always gonna go second, but I believe we're playing against some type of Shaddoll deck. They're gonna activate Nadir Servant, sending El Shaddoll a Colonne to the graveyard, activating its effect so they can search out the Shaddoll's Schism. They're gonna send a Wendy to the graveyard, activate the Wendy, set down a Shaddoll Beast face down, which they get to draw 2 cards if you flip up, activate the Domatica Ecclesia, search out the Domatica Punishment, set 3 cards in the back row, and end their turn. Now this board doesn't look crazy, but when they activate the Schism, they get to basically special summon, aka fusion summon. We're gonna throw out the Max C, but like I said, it never goes through, bro. We're gonna get ashed. It is what it is. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So here he doesn't even special summon, here we're just flipping up the trap, which is hilarious. So now we're gonna activate the Heavy Storm, trying to get rid of that back row. They're gonna activate the Schism, and then he's gonna activate the Cover the Grave to cover the grave with Maxi. He's just trying to use the back row before we get rid of it, and we know that the last trap has to be the Medica Punishment, right? So he's gonna banish 2 cards so he can fusion summon into El Shaddoll Window because floodgates are fun. Bring it out here. We get to destroy the whole back row, like I said, get it out of here. Now we get to activate the Ancient Gear Advance, getting ourselves the Catapult, activate the Catapult, we could pop the Ancient Gear Advance. But before we do that, we activate the Forbidden Droplets and another copy and the Catapult, so we can negate both of these monsters right here and half their attack. Stop that right there. Now we could special summon multiple times, activating the Wyvern. With the Wyvern, we're gonna get the statues. You have more monsters than me, so I can special summon the statue, and then we're gonna get the Gear Dark Golem onto the field, activate its effect, search out the Ancient Gear Fusion, and a Tanker because now we have a card to discard. I search out for cards that I'm actually gonna use. I don't feel like we're gonna use the triple tactic talent anymore, so get rid of it. Now we get to normal summon the tanker because we hadn't normal summon yet. Special summon the statue, use the statue and other 3 monsters from the deck to fusion summon into the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, which is insane. We have 2 level 4 monsters, so that means we can go into number 60 Dugares. Now we get to activate Dugares effect, detach 2 materials, double this thing's attack, 9,000 damage. And he can't activate anything in response. He can't even draw the 2 cards for me flipping that thing up. That's why he attacked into it. This thing is insane, this fusion monster thing right here. For OTK with the Dugares, yeah, you're having a good day. So let's continue. Alright gang, here we are for replay number 4, number 4 of the day. And now here we're going second against Yubel. Now this is going to show you that there are going to be some awkward duels, as it shows us the spirit of Yubel and the OG Yubel. He's going to go into the Phantom of Yubel and set that like that one, right? Now I didn't get to face Yubel in any other match that wasn't this one, so I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure we have low-key of a bad matchup, but as long as we get rid of the back row and then we could break the board slowly, we might not have any problems against Yubel. So here I decided to write Geki, and that's kind of a goof because clearly I should have just activated the urgent schedules and he controls a monster and I don't. But now because I write Geki the board and destroy that thing, I can't even activate this, so we basically have nothing, right? So he's gonna draw a card. He didn't draw anything. He now knows that I'm playing it going second deck, so he doesn't want to activate anything yet. And here I decided to activate the Lightning Storm. I'm gonna get some damage in, is what I was thinking, because we have the Ancient Gear Advance, so we could make some plays under this thing, right? So we're gonna get rid of the back row. It's an infinite impermanence. Activate the Ancient Gear Advance, and we're gonna get Ashed, which means we don't have any more plays against. We can't do anything because in order for me to activate this, my opponent has to control monsters. So here they're gonna join to another card. They're gonna activate the Paris Race map, get in the soul of Samsara D Lotus. So that means they get to combo off, activate the D Lotus, tribute it, special summon, but we're gonna activate the Maxi, and my Maxi actually went through for once. So now they're gonna special summon the Spirit of Yubel, set down the Eternal Favorite, activate the Nightmare Pain that they had in the hand, pop the Spirit of Yubel, get the Squirmer, special summon the OG Yubel, activate the Squirmer, special summon, pop the OG Yubel, activate the OG Yubel, special summon the Terror Incarnate, use the Terror Incarnate and the Squirmer to go into the Unchained Lord of Yamame. They're gonna activate the Yama's effect, and he gets to combo off completely because we don't play hand traps besides Maxi. We just break boards. So he's gonna special summon the Phantom of Yubel, activate the Squirmer, get the Squirmer out of here to special summon the Spirit of Yubel, activate the Unchained Souls of Shavara, pop the Spirit of Yubel, activate the Spirit of Yubel, bring the OG Yubel back onto the field, use the OG Yubel and the Unchained Soul Shavara to link off into the Souls of Rage because now he's angry, he's taking the Maxi challenge, send 2 cards back, special summon on the Phantom of Yubel, use the Unchained Souls of Yama and the Rage to go into the Gigantic Sprite. This is stupid. Activate the Gigantic Sprite, detach a material to bring a freaking Yubel onto the field. He's gonna link off the Yubel and the Gigantic Sprite to go into a Sprite Elf. So that means that the Yubel is gonna special summon itself onto my side of the field. Congratulations, no one cares. Bring it out here. So now he gets to activate the Sprite Elf, special summon the Soul, the Rage, and end his turn. Now mind you, he has 2 monsters that gate. This thing is protected. He can link off all these extra shenanigans, right? And he Yubels me, and he didn't even read the 1 card that I have on the field. So I showed him what the heck the card does. I'm just gonna tribute the stupid Yubel, get it back into your freaking graveyard. He's gonna activate the Elf, and with the Elf, he's gonna special summon it back onto the field, and he's probably gonna use it to link off into something later and try to Yubel lock me again. We're not gonna have that. We're gonna activate the urgent schedule, and then we're gonna forbidden droplet the whole board. So he's just gonna scoop, because legitimately we win the whole entire game from here. We hit everything with the forbidden droplet. He can't activate nothing, negate anything. We just slap into everything for lethal damage. It's GG's. So let's continue. Alright gang, here we are for the last replay of the day. Well, I'll show you the one where we lost against the sister because of the shifter, but this is the pre-last whatever. We're playing against Tearlaments again. Activate the Scream, normal summon the Rhino Heart, activate the Rhino Heart, activate the Scream, mill 3 and send 1. So here they're gonna mill 3 cards, send the Havness, so he's gonna activate the Havness and the Shaddoll Beast to draw a card regular. So you're either gonna draw a card, use both of these monsters, go into the Tearlaments Kid Kalos, activate the Kid Kalos, and the Tearlaments Cashier to the graveyard, mail 2 cards, send herself to the graveyard, special summon the Tearlaments Cashier, and then they get to mail about 8 cards here. 3 with the Tearlaments Cashier, bring them in there, and then 5 with the Kid Kalos, send them in there, activate the Sharon, activate the Rhino Heart that they just milled. Rhino Heart is gonna get to special summon itself back onto the field, send a trap to the graveyard. Sharon is gonna use itself and the Kid Kalos to go into the Tearlaments Root Kalos. And I don't know if he knew that well, we went second, so maybe that because he put everything in defense, which I thought was weird. So he's gonna pay the 1,000 life points, turn this tuner into a level 3 with a level 7 going to the Gondola floor, and he puts it in defense. Everything's in defense. And then he says on a back row end his turn. So pretty decent board, and I can't even Raigeki. I can only, well, not Raigeki. I can't even Lightning Storm the monsters. I have to Lightning Storm the back row, which is what I was gonna do regardless. So we're gonna pop the back row. One of them was Forbidden Droplet, the other one was Tearlaments Screen. He's gonna get the Soliac to the hand. So here I'm going to activate the Ancient Gear Advance. He's going to Ash that thing. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. But luckily for us, the spell that we were going to search, we already have it in the hand, which is the Ancient Gear Fortress. We're going to set it down. And this is where he goofed. He should have activated the Baron the Floor and negated and popped that thing. That's what should have happened, but he doesn't know how this deck works. Now I special summon the statue. He's going to hit me with a Max C. And I can't do anything about it. We're gonna activate the statue, special summon the Gear Golem. We don't care about no Max C. Activate the Golem, getting ourselves the Ancient Gear Fusion, getting ourselves the Catapult. We're gonna send the Catapult to the graveyard, activate the Ancient Gear Fusion, use the monsters from the hand and the field and the deck to go into the Ancient Gear Giant. Bring it out here, it's mine. Now we have all of the materials in the graveyard that we need to activate the Overload Fusion as well, which means we got 2 copies of this. But unfortunately, Overload Fusion is not an Ancient Gear card, so he can actually activate something in response to it. The reason why he couldn't activate the Root Kalos in response to this is because this is an Ancient Gear card, which is preventing them from activating to it. So he gets to negate it, but it's no biggie. We legitimately have more than enough lethal damage on the field already as we activate the Catapult, get it out of here. We're gonna pop the back row, get a token, and we go battle phase for funs and giggles because we already put his life points in half when he activated the Destrato. This thing is stupid, bro. That thing is insane. That spell basically shutting down everything is crazy. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright, my boys, so here we are for the last replay of the day. And again, we're going second. Unfortunately, we were going second against the sister here, and they had that Dimensional Shifter. Now, we probably could have done better if it wasn't because of the Dimensional Shifter, because we drew into the Maxi and all of that. They're gonna go into the Caspitel, activate the Caspitel, they're gonna search one of the trap. Well, no, they're gonna search the Martha. They already special summoned the Martha and normal summoned the Sakitama. So now they're gonna go into the Michaelis, activate the Michaelis, and with the Michaelis, they're gonna search a Vadis. Which, I never understood searching Vadis when you Dimensional Shifter, unless you already have the Returnia, which they might have had. I don't remember. So they're gonna go into the Magnifica here with both of the Assis monsters, bring it out here. Now he says his back row and his, okay, remember, he did have the Returnia already. So here we join to the Maxi, which is dead because of the stupid Dimensional Shifter. So now I get to activate the Urgent Schedule here, especially summon 2 monsters from the deck, which are negated, so I can't even activate them. But he's gonna activate the Magnifica, Detaching Material, banish the statue. I'm gonna normal summon the Ancient Gear Waver. He's gonna activate the Magnifica, and then activate the Returnia. So here we would have definitely, in response to all of this, activated Max C. We would have at least gotten a +1 off of it, but we're on the Dimensional Shifter. So banish the Waver and get it out of here. He's gonna go into his second copy of the Michaelis. Waver, we're gonna search out the Ancient Gear Advance. We're gonna activate the Advance, mind you. If this would have went through, we might have actually been able to break the board, but he's gonna activate the Michaelis and banish it anyways. Because he knows that by doing so, he's going to negate it. This is continuous. It's a good banish. Get it out of here. I can't do anything else. So it's sad times. And from here on, he's going to activate the Michaelis, Detaching Material, get himself another copy of the Returnia, special summon the Martha. We get to throw out the Max C, and it does go through this time, but it might have been a little too late. As he special summon the Martha, special summon the Elias, normal summon the Sakitama onto the field, activate or special summon the Elias, and then he's gonna use both of these to go into the third copy of the Michaelis. Bring it out here. Activate Michaelis effect, banish the Ancient Gear God Golem, use the other 2 level 4s to go into the Ancient Gear God Brian. And here I was mad, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna leave. There's no point. He's gonna get the attack boost, he gets to slap it in the face and win the game. We don't play any hand traps, so it's GG's. So with that being said, let's go back to the deck list. Alright, so I forgot to show you guys this in the beginning of the video, but this deck list is from Ice Rob from the Master Duel Meta website. He made it to Master 5 with the deck. Now I did make some changes again because I didn't have 3 copies of this. I added the Raigeki and he wasn't playing, he's playing 2 Link Garibos and he wasn't playing the Sus. Those are the main difference. Besides that, it's pretty much almost the same deck list. I decided not to change anything because once I looked at the deck list, know how to play and all that, I realized that honestly I didn't want to change anything. Everything in the deck makes sense and I like the ratios of everything that's in there. So with that being said, if you guys enjoy the content, again, please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the boy because I would greatly appreciate it. Let me show you the rest of the deck so you know it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's definitely from him. This is where I got my reference deck list. So make sure if you want to check out his specific deck list, it's Ice Rob in the Master Duel Meta website. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the content. Continue having a great day, and I'm going to catch you guys next time. Peace!